Alright, so let's talk today about ratio and rates. So, the class has 25 students, 15 are girls. What's the ratio of boys to total students? So we have 25 total students, and 15 of them are girls. So we'd subtract those to find out how many boys there are. So 25 minus 15 is going to give us 10. And then we make the ratio of boys, which is 10, to 25. And if you can reduce a ratio, you always need to do that. So 10 and 25 can both be divided by 5. So I get an answer of 2/5. So the ratio of boys to total students is 2/5. Alright, so when finding unit rates, there is a special rate. So we have $37.32 for 12 gallons of gas. So to do the unit rate, we have to figure out how much it costs for 1 gallon of gas. So you set up your ratio, 37.32 over 12. Make sure you always have your units. And so in order to get this to be a ratio with a denominator of 1, we need to divide the 37.32 by 12. Twelve goes into 37 3 times, which is 36. Subtract, you get 1. 12 goes into 13 once, you get 1. And 12 goes into 12 once. So our unit rate is $3.11 per 1 gallon. Alright, so now we're going to use rates to figure out how long it will take to do something. So $60 is what you make for mowing 4 lawns. How many lawns would you have to mow to make $195? So there's 2 ways to do this. One is to make it a unit rate. So we have $60 for 4 lawns. So I make that a unit rate by dividing by 4. And 60 divided by 4 goes in once, subtract 425. So I have a unit rate of $15 for 1 lawn. And so I want to know how long it will take to make 195, so I can take that 195 and divide it by my unit rate of 15 to figure out how many lawns I'd have to mow to make $195. So 15 goes into 19 once, subtract, 15 goes into 45 3 times, so I'd have to mow 13 lawns to make $195. So you can make that a rate as well, $195 for 13 lawns. The other way to do this is to set up a proportion. So you still start with your rate of $60 for 4 lawns, and then you make it a proportion, and money's on top, so I'm going to keep money on top. And then I'll just put an L there for lawns. And so here you do 4 times 195, which is 780, equals 60L. So we just cross multiplied, and then we're going to divide by 60. And 780 divided by 60 is 13. So you can use a unit rate or a proportion to solve those kind of problems. Alright, so let's do one more example. So in a survey, people prefer chocolate over vanilla at a ratio of 7:3. If 90 people were surveyed, how many prefer vanilla? So chocolate over vanilla. So chocolate came first, so that represents the 7, and vanilla represents the 3. So I had 3 people prefer vanilla out of a total of 10. So I had to combine my chocolate and my vanilla to get the part over the whole. So 3 out of 10, and here I'm just going to do a proportion. and 90 was the total people surveyed. I want to know how many just preferred vanilla. So my total goes on bottom because that's where my total for my ratio was. So here I do 3 times 90. 3 times 90 is going to give you 270. I'll put a V for vanilla. So I get 10V equals 270. Divide by 10 to solve my one-step equation. So the total number of people who preferred vanilla was 27 out of that original 90.